You think this is close enough? You think this is
Flip
good?
it to your collar, dude.
Why? It should face up to my mouth.
What?
Yeah, because if you clip it to the collar, it's not going to face. It's directional, bro. Are you filming right now?
Yeah.
So what am I doing today? I'm trying to get my job done. A little tricky. We've got Sky in the way most of the time. But actually what we're doing today is I'm going to be polishing a bunch of handles, getting those ready for Eric. He's not feeling well, so he's not in today, but we want to create a big stockpile of handles so that he can get in here, get through about, I don't know, we're hoping for 6 blades a day on average. But if we don't have the handles ready for him when he comes back, we won't hit that. So that's my main goal. I've got some in the tumbler. I've got some upstairs waiting to be anodized. So yeah, we can just go and check those out and it should be cool. Okay, let's go do some polishing. So, grab my trusty lung shield here. So this is my office, my beautiful little office where I spend a big chunk of my day. I basically just sit here, stare at the wall, and polish these handles on the Scotch-Brite wheel. Essentially what I'm trying to do is take out a lot of the machining lines and make sure that there are no scratches or anything on the handles so that when you guys get it, it's going to look really clean and professional. And you can, you know, scratch it on your own if you like when you get it, because it'll be your knife. I'm just going to tape these guys together so that they don't scratch each other while I'm working on them. Basically, we're just going to take some, we're going to take some machine lines off these handles. So let's get this started.
Hold up. I'm just going to jump in here and interject for a second. Yo makes it sound like the milling lines are super duper bad. They're not. They're freaking amazing. As good as I can do. It's still not good enough for a finished knife. That's why we have to polish everything out. And of course, he sees them as bad because he's the guy that has to polish them out, so it makes sense. But from a manufacturing standpoint, like, I can't get them any better. I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money. I've tried tons of different end mills, cheap ones, expensive ones, speeds and feeds, run out, doing everything I know how to do to get a better finish, and I still want better. So I'm working on it. But until then, Yo gets to polish.
Look at this. These are the daily challenges I face. Can't even get this thing untangled. How? Oh my God. If this goes on the internet, I'm doomed. Yeah, normally it takes like 1 second, but somehow I tangled it up there. Okay, let's get to it.
It's just because you're on film.
Yeah. When you're on film, everything sucks. Let's do it. So I want to be really light and careful with what I'm doing here. If I try and go too quickly or use too much pressure, we're going to get an effect called orange peeling. If you orange peel, you can orange peel something intentionally and it could be nice. We used to do it a little bit here, but it ends up taking way too much time to try and get a nice balanced orange peel on if we're doing it by hand like this. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to go nice and light, and I'm going to take all these machining lines off the edges of the handles. So what I don't want to happen here is to have the handle get warm. If it gets warm, it's going to start to orange peel again. Secondly, what you have to be careful of is if you're polishing in line with the grains or the lines that you're trying to remove, it'll look like the lines are gone, but you're actually just hiding it. So you either need to alternate between working in line with the lines that you're trying to remove and then going across them to see if those lines are still cut in there, or you can just go on sort of a diagonal the whole time and try and get rid of them. But you do have to check to make sure that you're not just hiding your lines, but that you're actually polishing them out of the handle. now I'm just going to intentionally put some orange peel on here, and we can get a little shot of what that looks like so you can see, hopefully. And then I'll show just taking it out again. Kind of looks like fish skin or an orange peel. Okay, so once you've got some orange peel in there, it's better to just avoid getting orange peel at all, but you can still take it out. We use rouge on the wheel, that kind of helps reduce it, and if you go sort of away from the direction that it's orange peeling in, you can just take it off pretty easily. Okay, so we've taken the orange peel off here. There's still a little bit, so I'm going to touch that up, but basically once you've got a really smooth, nice finish, and you've got that on every outside face of the handle, once that's all done, that's when we're going to put it into the tumbler, and we'll get that stone wash. Let's check it out. We're mostly actually just using the old tumbler at this point, because the new tumbler is so inconsistent right now, but yeah, I'll show you. So, this is the small tumbler. It's so loud, eh? So aggressive. Okay. So the little tumbler's really loud, but that's what we're doing all our handles right now. We're trying to get a rough polish finish on these things. And the big tumbler, we haven't been using it too much lately. It's been leaving some scratches. So we're trying to reduce the scratches we're getting. And the little tumbler just seems to do a better job. Like, it's just faster, and we can get a lot more handles done. If I have a piece that, let's say, isn't finished, like one of these guys, I'm going to inspect it for scratches. This one actually still has a couple of little scratches I want to take out. So I'm going to throw it in the small tumbler, leave it in there for like 20 minutes, and hopefully some of those more obvious scratches will be taken out and get a smoother finish. Cool. So I just got a set from the tumbler. They have these little zip ties on them, so first thing I'm going to do, chop those fellas off. These have already been washed, so they're pretty clean as it is. And then I'm just going to prepare them to go into our little anodizing setup here. I'm going to do green today. We're getting a lot of feedback. People want green, so we're going to try and get a couple green knives out. Get all the people who love that green color satisfied. We don't have like... Green is a fickle mistress here, I will tell you that. Green is a tricky color to do. It anodizes at a very high voltage, and we try and keep everything consistent. It's kind of like the voltage is so high that it becomes like quite sensitive, so there are a lot of factors that could be affecting the anodization when I'm trying to get it done. So we're still working on green, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, green's definitely a very popular color, but it's a little tricky for us to do. A lot of people will just, essentially all you're trying to do is minimize the amount of oxidization happening on the outside of the titanium, and you'll get a cleaner green finish. So we're just working on that right now. Just gonna hit this with some Windex here. Make sure there's no oil or anything on there. Actually, let's reshoot this. With gloves on. I'm just going to redo that little spot. You don't want to get the Achilles heel going where you've got that one vulnerable patch on the handle where your thumb oil got on there. Anyways, give this a little wipe down. Gotta be careful. These things scratch so easily when I'm using a titanium wire, so I have to be really careful on how I put them in this setup. Just like this. You also don't want them bumping each other or anything. That'll leave a mark. Okay, so we're gonna put it in our little solution here. And for green, we're gonna go all the way up to 116, which is pretty high. Little guy. Connect this up And then we're gonna start. So we'll get that up to green there. You gotta move it around a little bit, otherwise you're gonna get kind of a vapor jacket on the outside. I'm gonna break that up as much as possible without banging them together and scratching them, so it's kind of a little bit of a compromise. And then when we're around, we'll give it another second here. Then we're gonna give these guys a little wash and back in for round 2. They're not quite green yet, but what we're gonna do is just make sure I've got all this sort of baking soda and crap off of them here. Want to be gentle in this stage of the process. And then when we've got this done, we're gonna pop them back in there for round 2. Gently. And then I'm gonna re-anodize this guy. It won't cook yet because it's not hooked up, but I'm gonna set it to 60 this time, which is typically gold. But that's just gonna lighten up these little aspects that weren't covered, and that yellow color will push this over into a much greener color than the one that we normally get from just strictly anodizing at 116. Alrighty, that should be fine. So we've got more of a, I don't know if you can see, but it's much greener. And we're just gonna pop this in here, give them a little wash, get these guys laid out. You can see the once we dry it off, the color is a little like dimmed. It's not quite as green. I think because less of the gold comes through once we dry it off. Yeah, like if you see the logo on the clip is much more green than the clip itself. I'm not sure why. I think it's something to do with the finish when the tool's cutting. Okay guys, these are a couple of the handles that I've already done. We put them in these little bins. So we've got just classic blue. We've got pink and ice blue here. And then we've got sort of an emerald green cut here. I want to call this one Miami Skyline. That one is not sure if that's legit yet. Or electric bubblegum. I can't tell. They're both pretty tasty. So basically I keep them all in a tray here, and then Eric just comes in the afternoon, goes through the trays, pulls them out, whatever he likes first, checks it for any problems that I might have missed, and then when it's good, and he throws a knife on it, and you guys end up with a really cool blade. And this is a plain finish, or normal, as I like to call it. And then we'll put this guy up here. It can just go in the slot for Eric to find later. Boom. So that's pretty much anodizing. Hope you guys liked it. Obviously let us know in the comments what blades you want to be seeing, what colors you like. We can do so many styles. We can do two-tones, we can do different patterns. So just let us know what's popular out there, guys. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks a lot.